Ladies and gentlemen, American Jury and Bulldog Nation, you are in for a real treat today because I'm at my finest. And today I am wearing my Ride for 45 shirt given to me by George Coella, president of Ride for 45. I love him and his gal Goldie. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to love this show because it's like me at my best when I'm wrong. First and foremost, you can't make this up. Yesterday, I went down to the Kenton District Court to get my trial date in my big criminal case involving my nephew, and I received a text from Jim Moss telling me about our victory in Durrani while I was sitting there right before they called my name. I mean, it was like, boom, called my name. It was hysterical. And I've got my trial date. Those of you that would like to come watch my trial, and I threw him a curveball, I asked for a bench trial. My bench trial will be February the 6th in front of Judge Doug Grotehouse. And the reason why I chose, I don't even mind telling you and telling on. The reason why I chose a bench trial is for the following reasons. Number one reason, I want to get it over with as fast as possible. Number two, based upon the facts of this case, I would rather trust the judgment of one single experienced fact finder, a judge, than a jury. I mean, I know I could win a jury trial, but it takes longer, and who knows if a hater gets snuck on that jury. So I'm just going to do a bench trial, February 6th. And I promise you, I will win on all counts. I will. I just know the facts of the case. I didn't do any harassing communications. I couldn't have trespassed. And not only that, I didn't menace my nephew. And I'm going to win. So that's update number one. Update number two. I filed against me, Chris Wiest. You know the drill about Chris Wiest. He's a fraud. He's a constitutional grifter. Files lawsuits, get attorney fees. Court-martialed from the Air Force for hacking. Later, he appealed and won his appeal, but he still hacked. Then traded on insider information, SEC. Traded on insider information, a crime on his client's money. That's what got him suspended in Kentucky and Ohio. I've never done anything close to that. He's got his law license back. That's okay because I don't want my law license back. But anyway, that's why I retired. Chris Wiest also did not file any lawsuits against the hospital fighting the healthcare workers because his wife was pushing the vax at UC Health where she works. She was pushing the vax. He even sat on St. E's side when we argued our case. Then he and his minions mocked us for trying to fight those healthcare workers. Chris Wiest is not about the Constitution or the cause. He's about making money on constitutional grifting. You see, when he files a constitutional case, if he wins on like one issue, he can request attorney fees. And that's what he's up to. I mean, Chris Wiest is a fraud, and he's also obsessed with me, and he's so jealous of me because of my tremendous success. Now, I want to share this with you. He represents two people against me, two people. One is a guy named Kevin Harris, who we started out as friends, and it went south because I tried to start a company with him, and he was so lazy, it was unbelievable. I mean, sometimes one fact sums up a person. I found out that he gets manicures and pedicures. All right. The other one is Corey Lewandowski. All right. Now, they sue me. I sued Corey Lewandowski. I counterclaim against Harris. I also sued Chris Wiest and his partners and all these lawyers for his cohorts. By the way, you can't make this up. There's 3 or 4 lawyers helping him on these cases against me, okay? The case involving Kevin Harris involves a contract dispute and whether or not I should have to pay him any more money on his contract. I say no. They say yes. The Corey Lewandowski case, same thing. Corey Lewandowski wanted me to pay him $36,000 more. I offered him $20,000. He sues me. Publicity, all right? You can't make this up. And by the way, Chrissie, I got a prediction for you. Corey Lewandowski and Kevin Harris will be suing you for legal malpractice. You are clueless. You have no idea. You are clueless. But you're going to be not clueless very long. So get this, all right? Judge Summe, or Judge Kate Malloy, has the case of the Kevin Harris case against me. It's in Kate Malloy's court. I have filed a motion to dismiss. That's pending. There's a lot of stuff pending. Judge Summe drew the case that I sued Chris Wiest on for slander and defamation. Why? He said in a letter that, can't make this up, that I hide my assets from my creditors and commit fraud in my trust. A complete, absolute lie. This guy can't get into his head that I created a trust in 1998, the one that he sued, and you know what it was for? Estate planning. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So he wants to try to get my financial records. Not relevant at all. Complete bogus. Chris Wiest posted a decision that came out yesterday from Judge Summe where she dismissed my case against Wiest and his cohorts for defamation. By the way, and wants to sanction me for filing it. This decision is a complete bogus decision. It's far from over. I will be appealing this. I'll be filing motions on this. This won't stand. And I'm going to explain to you why in a second. So anyway, he posts on his social media bragging about this decision. He says, little backstory. Well, you know what Chrissie Wiest left off? What Chrissie Wiest left off is, well, what happened last week in the Corey Lewandowski case? He's trying to get all these financial records, and we had a hearing on the phone in front of the magistrate, Alan Statman representing me and the entities, and he lost. He lost. The judge said, I don't think you're entitled to. Now, he hates me so much, he's not giving up. He sends us this case that involves a Ponzi scheme and claims, I still want those records. It involves a Ponzi scheme, no Ponzi scheme. He is so jealous and hates me so bad. And you know why? Because the Maddox minions, Wiest, and the other two young minions, I don't mention their names, it drives them crazy. All these people that are around Maddox, including her, are the meanest, nastiest people you've ever met. I actually got an email from Chris Wiest's former neighbor, and she told me, she goes, he is the nastiest human being on the face of the earth. So these people are always used to their anonymous Facebook, fake book accounts, all that stuff. And what do I hit them with? Straight up sledgehammer fighting back. They're not used to fighting back. So Chrissie, little Chrissie, why didn't you post yesterday about your getting your butt kicked in federal court on the Corey Lewandowski case? No, he posts this. Now, I am going to tell you some more fun stuff about this case. Judge Summe. Do I have some Judge Summe stories? Now, I want to begin this by saying I know a lot of Summes. There's some Summes who are lawyers, good guys. Dan Summe was a dear friend of mine at Thomas More College. Dan Summe, good guy. Charles Summe, Dan's dad, great guy. I was the Republican chairman and got along with him. He was a lifelong Democrat. And in fact, it was the Charles Summe name that got Patricia Summe elected to the judgeship. I want all the Summes to know, and all the Summe family to know, that this is not about the Summes. This is about Patricia Summe. Now, you can't make this up. I'm going to go through this because I don't want to miss anything. First, I think she might have a bad alcohol problem. Fred Johnson, recently deceased, my buddy, told me at a KBA dinner that she got so drunk she fell down the steps at the Madison while grabbing him and asking him to, go off with her. It was unbelievable. I cannot say what I witnessed when I accidentally went into a restroom at the Kentucky Derby party one year when she used to come to my dad's Derby party. I'm leaving that out. Frank Benton and I were once trying a case with Summe was the judge, and she was supposed to rule on these expert objections on these videos, and she never ruled on them. Frank and I got together. Remember, we're opposing lawyers, and we said, hey, why don't we just screw the objections, play the video. We put the video in. The jury starts watching it. She calls us over the bench and says, was I supposed to rule on objections? Yeah, you were, and you didn't. Then I got this story. Mark Arnson and I trying a case against each other. I was calling him Mark. He was calling me Eric. She objected to that. They always talk about lawyers need to be more collegial. No. You will call each other Mr. Arnson and Mr. Deters. Mark and I kept screwing it up. Then there's how she got the job. She ran against Judge Trusty and beat him. And the way she got the job is dirty tricks. She took one case that Trusty had, misrepresented the context. All you Trusty supporters, you should support me. Then there's this little weird thing. She used to do titles with Mike Sketch, okay, with Adams, Brooking, and Stepner. All right, I used to go to the Sketch St. Patrick's Day. No problems with the Sketch family. But there's this weird relationship there. I used to have cases that did not involve Mike Sketch. He would come to court with Jeff Mando. He would come to court. I was like, what the hell is he here for? To send the word. Jeff Mando has been helping represent Chris Wiest. And he did at this hearing. One time I was opposed. This is the most epic Summe story of all time. I'm arguing for her to recuse herself using this tone of voice. Judge, you need to recuse yourself, blah, blah, blah. She starts to cry. Yes, I'll bet you I am the only person that you've ever going to meet that made a judge cry. I'm talking to her, and she starts crying. I said, Judge, why are you crying? She says, I'm feeling a little bit intimidated right now, and I might need legal counsel. I'm like, what? I got the transcript. She recused herself and went off the bench in the middle of my argument. You can't make this. All I was asking her to do was to recuse herself. All you Lisa Bushelman supporters, you should be for me. Because Summe led the charge against Lisa Bushelman, a good person and a great family court judge. And she was going through a lot of personal issues, and they exploited that. Evil, led by Judge Summe. If you like Gentry, I'm the only person that publicly supported Gentry. All the stuff that they said about Gentry, I can tell you all the stories about other judges, which I won't. But I defended Gentry. She led the charge against Gentry too. All right? She's nasty, mean, incompetent, and lazy. You can't make this story up. I once had a case that a motion for summary judgment was pending for over a year. I filed a complaint to the Judicial Conduct Commission. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. She finally ruled on the decision. I had a case, a drowning case. Can't make this up. A drowning case down there in that Rosedale Park. A little boy had drowned. Steve McMurtry was on the other side. She ended up ruling in our favor, but how she ruled was completely out in left field, which, by the way, is her reputation. Lawyers aren't going to tell you this because they can't. I can tell you. Lawyers will tell you Judge Summe's a dingbat. Judge Summe ruled. I remember walking out with McMurtry, and I'm like, I won. I don't really care. So that's it. That's it. Now, what did I do? I made a mistake. I should have filed a motion to recuse her. I decided this is so silly. I don't want to worry. Well, guess what? The order's this, and let me tell you how stupid this is. You ready for this? The lawsuit that they filed against me is still pending, hasn't been ruled upon. And she dismisses this case without Judge Malloy ruling on that decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, Judge Summe's a corrupt judge. She's a lazy judge. She is the most unlegally scholarly judge that there's ever been in Kenton County. She hates my guts. And Chrissie Wiest gets a decision where he wins and he brags about it. Doesn't say anything about how he got his butt kicked last week in federal court, did you, Chrissie? Last but not least, Ben Dusing's bar hearing is December 12th and 13th, I believe, and it's open to the public. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.